All right, and welcome back. This is the third and last segment. After that, today, check it out in another playlist. When you get a chance, we're gonna put it up. Up here or up here? I don't know. They be doing it. They be doing it.
It might not even be there at all.
It might not be there at all. You might forget. Right? But
might be in my face. So we never know.
But today's topic or deep conversation will be surrounded around reparations for Black people, specifically African Americans. I feel like the state of our community and the mindset of the Black people that are receiving said reparations. I feel like they have to have a certain mindset before they're ready to accept this reparation. Because if they and this is once again. This point was from Dr. Umar video that I watched. When they get if Black people were to get reparations, they would just be spending that same money, either buy jewelry, buy high class cars, and they're giving it back to the same white people that oppressed them.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's what.
Yeah. they won't be supporting me like Black owned businesses with it.
Yeah, because you see most rappers now when they get loans or lump sum of money for doing the music that they produce, and not all rappers, some rappers, they buy cars, or they don't really buy the cars you see in music videos. They get a loan for them. They don't actually buy them and own them.
They're unintentionally changing the narrative of what Black people should be doing with their money.
Also, it's impractical to because I don't think it's possible to calculate the benefits that a slave could have brought to a person from way back to now, and our dollar, especially the
yeah, because it's a high inflation from then to now,
because they didn't keep records about what each slave did.
But if they were working for their whole life, and we're assuming sun up to sun down.
Because people say we should get 2 acres or something like that of land and stuff like that.
And plus a mule. That's
what
we should. It's supposed to
It's
get.
quite literally impossible to even get that 2 acres of land, especially with the fact that the United States is basically all.
In the case, they might as well be taken away from people like say Bill Gates or something.
I don't think Bill Gates owns.
They're buying up big plots of land.
It's
this is where it comes to the way how the place how the United States is run. People are like, oh, I want to be able to buy. I understand freedom to buy and do whatever you want, but I feel like if you have a country, there should be some type of structure, something that the norm the citizens shouldn't be able to buy.
Because it's almost like they're monopolizing it.
Yeah.
But with reparations, I think the best way to give reparations is through loans, business loans, house loans, and education.
I wouldn't say loans. That'd be
or grants.
Yeah, grants. Loans is you gotta pay that back.
Yeah, so
grants. So
I feel
with
I'm not gonna lie. My mindset, we don't even really need money. I feel like Black people, they have the mindset to do for example, Tulsa, right? You know Tulsa.
No, but I mean, it should be money. It shouldn't be just
cash.
Yeah, here's cash. It should be grant in terms if that child wants to go to college or something like that, go to trade.
I know, but I'm saying okay, you can add that, but I'm saying the main thing is that if the government and everybody wants to just step back from influencing the Black Black people, even the younger generation, right? If you just stop pushing the narrative of say gun violence, getting into gangs, right? Stop with some of the music, stop with some of the movies, right? Make the school systems better. We don't necessarily need money in our pockets. We can generate that ourselves if we were allowed to.
Why it's important, because I don't think when it comes to reparations, even though I do think it's important to acknowledge the past of slavery, I don't think slavery is what we mostly need reparations from. I think what we need reparations from is from the systematic barriers that were in place afterwards. So stuff that stopped us from getting money, redlining. Redlining that stopped us from getting houses and stuff like that.
Appreciating the value of the area.
People the war on drugs, people who were arrested under minimal charges or minimal drug charges.
You have Wall Street, it's just different
stuff like that should be redacted and taken back.
Stop killing our leaders.
True. Honestly, because they can't hide that. You gonna say, Martin Luther King Jr. he was killed in the hospital. Bro,
unironically,
he died to a sickness. Like really?
There's evidence with Malcolm X assassination.
Yeah,
There's
true.
evidence that I think it was a CIA agent that did it. Right up to him.
like they unironically, FBI,
He
unironically.
knew it. Let's not forget that.
They
Slightly went into his house.
They do that like every time there's like a great leader, they always like kill him off. Like you see, like I'm not gonna say he was a perfect leader, but or they had John F. Kennedy. He as a president, I feel like he did a good job as a president.
He was doing a great fucking job.
Yeah, he was doing a good job as a president compared to some presidents. He was doing a good job, and then he
was doing a much better.
he got cooked off.
Yes, I took them off. It's like, so it's like it's important to like, and like I fully accept. I don't care if it's like unfair or unbiased. I fully agree with the fact that with Black people that like as African Americans that have been oppressed and went through like systematic oppression from their prior generations, I think it should be easier to like for them to get approved for stuff like that. Like people are like against affirmative action in some cases, but I'm like, if your family has been constantly stiffed by like the education system and the school districts and stuff like that, and it's finally time for you to catch a break, I think like we should be allowed that one opportunity to equal the playing field.
But
But it's like when you say that, like if you look on like the internet, you see like a black positive person, like talking on the internet. You go into the comment section, you're gonna see why people are like, oh, they're playing the victim card. What do you got? What y'all think?
but you said
The victim card?
Yeah, like when black people complain and say, yo, it's not right, right?
I'm not.
I understand some of
like,
them do
yeah.
not be working to get to where they need to be.
Yeah, but like you can't keep bringing up the fact of like we've been through shit like that shit that can't keep silent. Like you gotta do better. Like you gotta as a community, because it's on our part too. You can't just be like, oh, white people did this, white people did that. And you're not improving your community by like as yourself as an African American.
Because it's doable. I feel like
we just gotta
we gotta learn how to work together. But society and how
I think most of it stems from like the fear of like our grandparents like back in the days. Well, the grandparents that were here in America. When say like also I'm bring up Oklahoma again, like the cities, like the black towns that were bombed, burned down, and raided and stuff. When you hear that in the papers at the time, you hear like how black people got together, they actually made a community and stuff, and then all of it just demolished. Just like that. It's discouraging,
yeah,
right? So when they tell their children, hey, they're gonna say, hey, aspire for greatness, but don't aspire too high like this because they will kill you.
And
right?
it's sad
They
because-
instill that fear into their children.
And it's sad because we have to show our, especially the younger generation. Cause we're the younger generation too. But even like the new generation that comes up, we have to show them that they can't follow the path of like every person. Like, they can't sit there and like follow like all like the rappers and stuff and think like that's like that's TikTok. Like, that's like
rap
the thing to
is
do.
never the best way to go.
Like,
You
it's not-
try to get up into a business.
Like try like go to college, do something, do a trade, like
Exactly.
start your own business, do stuff like that. Like don't fall into the thing of where black people is only supposed to be athletic or be a rapper or
Don't
be an
follow the
artist. Like,
trends.
that's what they want you to think. That's why they have so many people in that area.
That's why I don't listen to mainstream anymore, because that's nothing but trends being influenced towards a generation. I stay away from it.
They're like they're demasculating our children. Male, like,
no.
What's
I
the
know.
proper- what's the
I
proper
know.
word?
I know that. Yeah, I don't like to like hear this phrase, but it presents toxic masculinity with a lot of these mainstream rap.
Oh, yeah.
Like it presents toxic masculinity.
okay.
Everybody's competing against each other.
Drill?
Every rap,
Especially drill.
bro. Drill, I swear to God, bro.
Drill.
Bro, the only like I don't honestly like when it comes to drill music, the only thing I could do is probably dance. So I can't. Like,
I listen to
just
the
sit
beat. I
there
don't
and
listen to the lyrics.
I don't listen to the lyrics, bro.
The
Like
lyrics is
that's
tough,
wicked.
bro.
Like if you actually sit there and listen to the lyrics,
You
listen
actually
to-
hear,
like-
and you can see what they're saying,
Like,
and it's gruesome.
that's bad. Like compared to the music that. I mean, we like, cause honestly, like, we can't say any music didn't have those messages, but how like Tupac and Biggie and them, how they portrayed those messages, it was more of like a learning type thing. How they're doing it now is just like,
They don't-
oh, it's a cool thing to
They
do.
don't glorify
They
it.
want
They
everybody
tell
to
their
find
history.
each other.
Yeah,
like-
they're telling the story of
They tell the story of what they've been through. Like some of these
Everybody-
rappers haven't been through that. They just saying they heard before.
Exactly.
And even if we should be able to live in a society where even if these drill rappers are telling their truth and telling their story, we should be able to make a society where that's not the case anymore. Like
Exactly.
we need to make a society where drill rappers are so bored with their lives that they don't have like stories about shooting people and stuff like that to the point where they start rapping about going to the grocery store. Like, because
Well, on top of that, let's talk about how like you have African American children that's in like good home. I'm not saying perfect homes, but that's in good homes that have at least like one loving parent or even both loving parents in their home, and they try to be like a thug or like a gangster or part of a group, like part of like a gangbanger.
I'm not gonna lie, like it's sad when you see that. When you see them, like you know that they're not about that life. Like
They're not.
They're not about that life, but yet they're trying to like front that they're like that guy, and like there's no reason to.
Like you have a parent at home that care about you and love you.
You're ahead of the people that are actually in that situation.
It's in that situation, and then you're taking and then you're gonna go out there and it's being
That's going down.
And it's being selfish. Like you might think it's not selfish. It's being selfish to your parents because if they hear, or if they get that call that their son or daughter got shot or killed, I don't think you understand how much that hurts.
You know that does to your mother or your father.
That hurts them all. They can't get over that. That's living with them for the rest of their lives.
and then a lot of them they present the argument as like, well, I gotta do it for my family because like I need this quick money.
No,
quick money is never the way.
It's the quick
It
money.
was never the way to go.
Bro,
So
you're
we're
like,
oh, I
Always
need
come back to get you. Quick money is like karma. It'll always come back.
It always come back.
any parent in your house, if you've been living up until like the point where you realize that, oh, my parents need money, then that means that they're not doing like great, but your head is above water at least, right? You're breathing. Just keep it going. They're going to continue to try and support you. Your job is not to get them money right now.
Exactly.
Your job is to get them
Your job is
money
to
in
be
the
better
future,
than
be able to help them out in
Alright,
the future.
okay, see, even though I don't agree with, I agree with what you're saying, but what do you think the advice should be for people whose head aren't above water? They don't know what they're gonna eat the next night, and like now, since they're living in these low-income areas, they get presented with the opportunity. Hey, just like push this little stuff for me, and
Nah,
you got
like,
like $5.
That's not-
Try to find something else. There's
Bro, that's not
There's
just
always options. My father always told me there's always options in life. You never have to steer towards the bad in every situation. Like you could, like if somebody said, yo, let's go push like these power, like let's go like sell some weed or sell crack or something like that. You can always go and like bro, you can go sweep in a barbershop and get like some money from that.
I'll tell you this, and like if my dad see this, he's gonna be mad that I probably like telling his story and shit. Like he's ashamed of it, bro. My dad was like born in Jamaica. Dude was back shit broke, bro. Like the only reason why his family was okay was because like you know they had like contact at the supermarket or like the little store that they had that gave him food. He was like, all right, you could pay me later, right, bro? It was 4 children. My grandma and my grandfather that was just fucking around, right? And he was a drunk, made no money, right? He had a little taxi business, and all he did was just work till he was able to buy a drink, right? They were flat out broke. The food that my dad was telling me that they had to eat, I won't even say it, right? But nonetheless, there was you know how the Caribbean is, you know they have like a bunch of gangs, you know, smoking weed and shit out on the street. He never got into that. He never touched it, right? He worked. Either he would start working for free. He moved cars. Like he was like what do you call those guys again? Chauffeur. Like where they have to like in front of like a hotel or like a fancy restaurant.
Valet.
Yeah, valet. He did valet. He worked in the in the sewers with the subway, right? He did all the dirty jobs to the point where he got to where he is, right? He has properties and whatnot, right? He's doing real estate. He's doing good for himself, and he's providing for his family. And he never went into any of the temptations that would have gotten him easy money, right? There's no excuse.
It's all about mentality.
It's all about mentality.
It's like.
And also the girl, like you like make sure that you find a girl that's going to support you. I guarantee you, my dad couldn't have done what he did if it was not for my mother, because my mother gave him motivation as well.
A girl will always give you
Enough.
enough.
A woman makes you
A woman can either put you down or build you up, bro.
Exactly.
A woman is.
And if she's not gonna help you build yourself up, you might as well leave.
You gotta
Push
leave
it
that,
to the
bro.
side. And that goes for women as well, right? You build yourself up as well. Make yourself valuable so that, you know.
And stop putting yourself down.
And don't ever sit there and rely on or think you have to rely on a man for certain things. Like be independent, but at the same time don't close your heart to certain people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like women, they close their heart up to the point where they gotta be independent, they gotta be powerful, because they think that men are just gonna come in and do everything for them. And no, it's not always like that.
Also, like,
support goes both ways. It's 50-50. And when you're in a relationship, you're sharing everything. Everything is about being together.
Everything.
Like I hear like women like on the street or on the bus, they're like, oh, this guy was telling, oh, we were too masculine. Yes, you were being too masculine. Like,
And that's the thing.
if you start like talking back to your husband, like, why would you start putting your hands on him and all that stuff? You're being too masculine. A man doesn't want like a masculine woman. We want a strong woman. We don't want a masculine.
It's two different things. we don't like if that was the case.
We want a woman that's gonna fight for us, not fight us.
I fight us.
And honestly,
Fight with us.
Fight for us. Fight with us. Like if we're not there, fight for us. If we're there, fight with us.
Like,
right? We don't want you to be fucking trying to scratch out our eyes and then call rape the next
and
second.
there are situations where women can't handle the masculinity of a man. Because a man can tell the girl something she would need to hear, but she would turn it down and think, oh no, he's hurting me.
yeah, because it might. I see what you're saying. Like, it might come out as like they think it's offensive, but it's like that's how we are.
I'm
That's
just
how
trying
we
to tell
present
you.
ourselves.
You're trying to help you out.
That's
help
why-
you understand
Yeah,
and
but
listen.
don't mistake that as like don't accept the brutality of a man as love. Like if he's putting your hands on you or anything like that, shit just
That's
don't-
unacceptable.
Get out of it. Get out of it.
Bro,
Yeah.
if you start to see the signs of him being aggressive, like too aggressive, up to the point where he's putting hands on you, or if he's being too insecure, you know. But if he's too insecure, you know, up to the point where he want to fight other. Okay, I'm not into that.
Don't
But,
ever listen to a man after he puts his hand on you. Don't listen. Don't try and hear out no. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah,
mean
don't
that.
fall
I
for
was
that.
just
Don't fall
angry.
for that.
No,
Don't fall for that. That baby, I'm sorry shit. Do not fall for that.
But at the same time, if a woman, if you put your hand on your man, you just open up the door for him.
Oh yeah, he has every right. Every right.
I'm a firm believer in once you cast the first stone, prepare for
A boulder's gonna come in.
What? I believe in the words of Batman. Equal rights, equal fight. Bro, like, he put his hands on anybody, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, keep your hands off each other. That's not necessary.
it's not.
Unless you want to.
Talk with your words. Your words is way more powerful than your fist. That's all you can say.
And there's something else too. Damn, I forgot now. Because there's a situation where a woman will try to talk out a situation, maybe that something bothering her. A man can try to help. What?
No.
You said a man wouldn't help
Well,
her?
No, a man would try to help, talk to her, calm her down. But it's like she refuses to take that in.
Because sometimes that could come from past experience, like
Yeah,
past relationships.
it can.
And that's a main thing, especially with African American like women. Yo, when it comes to past relationships, it always carries on to that
Bro,
situation.
don't
And
bring
don't do
your
that.
past stuff. Both men and women. Don't
But
bring your
no,
past
it's
don't
not
bring
even
negative
that.
stuff.
Like,
Don't-
if you do bring that stuff in, if a girl has that stuff as a man, if you really love this woman and she's trying to like give you a chance, you just work with her. Sometimes you have to work with her because it does. Like, cause some situations that shit does hurt. Like for certain what women go through, that it does hurt them.
You have to understand. You have to keep an open mind.
Yeah, you always gotta keep an open mind. Do not let your masculinity close your mind out to them. Don't do that.
Alright, but to pull back, right?
You gotta
So to
go
get back,
far away.
yeah, we kind of went off on a tangent.
Oh,
So we're gonna go like back to reparations, right?
Jesus.
So
That's
reparations to the thought process of the black community to stuff like that. So how do you think reparations would work with other countries besides the United States? So stuff like the European countries like France, England, Belgium, Germany.
They would suffer.
They would suffer
They would
with
suffer if they did that.
like reparations.
Well, because their government.
If we're talking money reparations, as well as them getting themselves out of Africa, right? I'm pretty sure I forgot one of the what country it was, but I think it was either France or Italy, one of those. They were completely reliant on their economy is still completely reliant on
France is going through something right now.
yeah, but their economy is completely reliant on one of the African countries. I forgot which one. And the moment if they were to move out, it would be us for them.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with Britain, bro. I hate the queen because I know the stuff that she knows that happened, and she did nothing about it. She knows what she did.
She knows what she did.
and it's either she was hands-on a part of it, or she knows about it and she did.
Yeah, she
You know what?
benefits.
Because there was a situation with the queen about something, but we'll save that for another.
And also, if they were to give back everything, and I believe the reparations should include giving back everything that they took, right? Your whole museums would be nothing. Empty.
Because you've seen the British Museum, right?
It's
full. It's full.
What they did in Black Panther. Exactly what they did in Black Panther. It was in London, right?
Yeah.
It was in London, and they went to the museum. Killmonger was looking at it. He was like,
You don't know
"That's from
that
Wakanda.
shit.
That's from Africa." Most of the stuff that was in there, if not all, was from Africa.
They said that they found it.
They found it. Like,
And they didn't pay no price for it. Like, you heard of the queen's, the former queen's, like,
They found
like
all
her
the
vault.
stones on her crown.
No, like her vault, like a mad gold, right? And also the diamond that's either on the crown or on the staff. That's the biggest diamond. And all the stuff they did. That wasn't native to Europe.
because when they came to Africa, we was treating gold like it was
Nothing.
it was nothing.
If y'all watch Loki, you see how they was using the time stones as paper holders. We was using gold and diamonds.
That's how we gold, bro.
Like,
That's exactly. That's a good.
Huh?
Only the rich.
Yeah.
Only.
I mean, it depends on where you went, though. It depends on where you went.
Because I don't think everyone was rich at.
It depends on where you went.
No,
Like,
every-
their weapons would be made out of gold and etc.
What places?
Places in, the place like the African countries that traveled from Africa to America, I forgot specifically, but like there were records of gold tipped spears that were.
But we didn't treat it
that
like
were
how
recovered.
people treat it outside of like oh, and that's shiny. That's like that could be made into currency. We wasn't
Man,
treating
I
like
don't
that.
think like every time I remember it, it's like that dude is different.
Ransom Moore.
Yeah, I believe it was him. Like, dude was able to. He had the economy of a place in his hand. He gave out so much gold that he single-handedly depreciated the value of gold because he gave it out so much.
You said who?
Ransom.
Mansa Musa.
Ransom Musa. I'm saying Ransom Moore. I'm stupid now.
Was he like the richest?
He was the richest person in history.
In history.
And-
Look at that. Richest person in history was black.
And the person they tried to say was the guy in the Bible who was Solomon or something. They said that he was the most richest, but first off, we don't even know that he is. Like, get that straight, right? And also, even if it was, we know that all the people in the Bible, if they did exist, were black. Because the Bible took place in that.
But we're gonna get into that
Well, another time.
Another
Another time. Well, yeah. Reparations. White people don't want to do reparations.
Why do you shit about it?
Uh,
If they do it, it's us.
But one thing I will not accept is the
No,
notion
don't get
that
out of
the average person, even if they're rich, I'm not expecting it from the people. I'm not expecting reparations from the people. I'm expecting it from the government because they're the people that let that stuff start.
They're the ones who keep bringing us down. They're trying hard.
The people are a product of their time.
But it's
Not their government.
but like I hate the fact that like it's not even like they don't have the money for it because these places they have the money for it. They gave reparations to everyone except for
What?
even the Jews, or I should say the Jewish-ish. Let's get that straight. The white Jews, Jew-ish. Black-ish.
I don't know what he's cooking right now.
If you say that something is ish, right? You're somewhat. It's like somewhat.
Minimum.
Right?
So black.
Minimum.
It's somewhat.
Minimum.
Black-ish, but they're all black.
Nah.
No.
Okay. What's the
All
better?
class stuff.
Wasn't the mother like mixed?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the name. I'm not talking about the name of the show. If you say it's like sometimes, I'm making up a word. I'm just adding an ish. So you know, it's like empty-ish. Right? So, I know it's not a word. Okay. They're not fully Jews. They're Jewish. They're somewhat Jews. They're somewhat Jew. It's the word. It's hard to like.
I know what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
but
No.
I don't think you're right though.
Why you saying?
Yeah, because like saying like
But
we say like we don't say like Jew people. We say Jewish people.
Jewish people. Even if they
we
were
can say
black.
Jews. We can say Jews.
I would say the Jews, but
But here,
Even if they were black, you still say call them a Jewish person.
no, call them Jews.
Jewish.
the Jew. Wait a minute, that's not even it's a religion.
I know.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Nah. Jewish is not the name of the religion.
No, I know it's not the name of the religion.
What's
That's the name of the no. It's wait.
What are y'all trying to get at? That's what I'm wondering. Because now I'm lost.
No. If I'm okay, if we're saying, right, the original Jews are black, right, and then white people come in and adopt their religion as well, they're not the original Jews, so they're Jewish.
But religion is
Think of this.
not a color thing; it's a person thing.
But they're taking it over, and they're trying to call themselves a race.
Jewish people,
Jews,
but Jewish people aren't a race; they're a community, though.
again, they're a community, but they're basically jacking that they are a race.
Yeah,
They
no,
do
they're not a
that.
race.
They do that. And I'm saying if they
There's no
were,
such thing
if they were going to be a race, well, if they say race, it would be like a
I'll
bloodline.
tell you right now.
If it was in terms of bloodline, it still wouldn't be them.
If African Americans could work as a community, like in their community, as much as like Jewish people do, oh my goodness. I don't think you understand. Like, if we had like our own schools, our own banks,
Oh, yeah.
our own like, bro,
People would call it racist.
America would hate us even more.
they would, but I don't care. I'm just,
But they hate Jewish people, so like.
I don't
America-
know why you said they. Everybody.
America hates.
Everybody.
they hate some people. They hate
He
white people.
hates Jewish
No.
people.
When I say everybody, I'm referring to like countries. When the Jews were in Germany and like during Hitler time,
Not hating.
what does that have to do?
No, you said every country hates Jewish people.
Almost every.
I was saying.
I
I
know.
was
I
saying.
know. You was being like rhetorical.
No, during when the Holocaust, when it was about to happen, right? When Hitler was there, right? Every country hated Jews. Everybody didn't like them. Hitler was just the first to act on it
Also,
because they were operating the same way everywhere. Like,
Yeah, because stereotypes.
and especially since like Hitler was trying to rebuild his country, considering how much reparations they had to pay for the war and stuff, right? They were down in the dumps.
and I do respect Jews. I'm not saying I love Jewish people. I'm saying I respect Jews. I respect everybody, but I respect Jewish people. But I don't care how y'all take this. Do not compare the Holocaust to slavery.
No,
At all. Like that's terrible.
there's 6 million people compared nowhere to
compared to
4 million.
It's
400 million.
terrible.
It's still.
400
don't
million.
get me wrong. Both situations are terrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible. It is.
Like, that's inhumane.
That's
But,
human.
like,
That's human life being
But
lost.
do not sit there and be like, oh, the Holocaust was worse than
Yeah, it's
slavery.
not.
Don't do that, bro. At
It's
all.
not. And if you hear us complaining, don't try to say, well, I mean, the Holocaust. No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. Right? We all know it's terrible.
We was literally treated worse than horses. Like,
Bro, there are people that got
Slavery lasted for like years.
400
years.
400 years.
Holocaust lasted for like decades. For like a decade.
slavery took a decade.
A decade. Yeah. How long was the Holocaust?
Like a good. How long was
I thought it was like a
it?
year.
About a decade.
Yeah, it's
It was about a decade. That was about a decade.
About a decade.
Look at that. Hey, bro, like,
Bro, slavery was here for like all of humanity.
Yeah, bro. People were getting their hand there were videos of like children who had their hands caught. Like they were cutting off their hands, wearing them as bracelets and necklaces.
you had people decapitating the people that tried to run away and like had them as like trophies on their like,
Yeah,
bro.
put their head on spikes.
Put their hand on spikes. Like, what the?
Right? They're hanging children. They're hanging around it like it's a Christmas tree.
Like, that's terrible.
Something must have been in the water back then.
Like, bro, like,
to
bro.
do that is insane.
There's something about seeing like a
Bro,
little.
that's not.
There's something about seeing a little girl and a black dude hanging, and a little girl like.
Like, that's not crazy. Like, bro, like, I'm thinking about that now. That's not like. That's some devilish shit.
It was normal, like maybe
That's not. Like, even if I was white and like I went back to that time, like I still, bro. I'll be
You can't
sick to my
comprehend,
stomach, bro.
You can't comprehend.
I don't
accept
accept it. It's like because I can't say fully how like propaganda works because we could all be victims of propaganda. Like people say like, oh, if I was in like Germany during the World War II era, I wouldn't be a Nazi. No, stop lying. You would be a Nazi.
Yeah, because of how like the
Yeah.
situations were. Yeah.
Like, but I don't like the thought of not being disgusted when you see a human life, even if you didn't consider black people human.
Exactly,
at that time.
that's not
like
wild.
if you get grossed out when they see like
a dog,
cow,
yeah, or ran over a fucking
So,
squirrel or a cat. You
to
get
see,
sad.
to see that and just not be into your stomach is insane to me.
It's like how do you
It's not comprehensible.
How do you sit there and like say we're not humans when we look exactly the same? It's just our skin.
I'm jacking it. It's in their blood that they like violence. Like violence is in
I ain't
there.
gonna say all that.
No. I saw a video of a little white child, right? and the teacher was asking him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" He said, "I want to be a murderer." Right?
What?
No, I kid you not. If I could like,
Nah, I believe you. 'Cause I know it's
I
like
believe
that.
you, but like,
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
I guess it's
but
yeah,
if you look at the mass shooters, bro, like they're
If you look at society now, if you look at mass shootings, you will see what race it mostly is. If you look all.
You look at mass murderers or psychiatric people that are just going like mass murderers.
Oh
That's with black people.
Oh,
Serial killers, that's what
No. They say they have the excuse of when a white person shoots up a whole bunch of people, they're mentally ill. But if a black person,
he was evil.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
jogging. He's fucking maniacal. Like, how does that even work? Like,
Nah, they criminalize the
call
black.
us terrorists.
Yeah, they criminalize the black murderers, but they give excuses and understanding for the white.
for the white people.
With white murderers, I don't think. Because mental illness is not an excuse, as regardless. It's a reason.
No,
I
it's a
don't- I don't
thing.
The
consider it
police
an
took
excuse.
a guy that killed multiple people to murder
Yeah,
people.
to burn.
That's not wild.
That's why. They should have been arrested.
Gave him a
I remember
sentence,
that too.
bro.
Yeah, that was the thing. But with a lot of it with black people, it's because people overlook us in the medical system. Like they overlook stuff that's wrong with us, especially within the community when parents say, "Oh, your son might be autistic." Like, no, they not.
Yeah, they're quick to put them on drugs because the ADHD pills and stuff like that, the medicine.
No, that's not what I mean.
No, I'm saying like the medicine that they give like the children when they say, "Oh, he has like a learning like disorder or something like that."
But
when
like-
they put them on pills,
I
the
like-
pills that they give them are like one chemical component away from being cocaine or crack or
Well,
whatever.
like autism, like when it comes to like a certain type of autism, like I don't know. I'm sorry. No, when it,
You wouldn't believe what we almost did.
no, I'm not gonna. This is why I can't. But I'm just saying,
That's
like,
why we're not getting jobs in the future.
but like autism, like when it comes to autistic kids, like you can't say like it's really like a learning disability because they could still like learn. And some autistic people are smarter than like regular people. Like it's just like I feel like autism is just a way like they see things differently compared to us.
But speaking of pills, I heard something about the ADHD pill. It was it's like think of it as like a distraction type of deal. The ADHD pill is they brought. I'm trying to speak clearly now. The ADHD pill was meant to slow black people down, and that's why they combined the ADD with ADHD. They got rid of the ADD shit, and they combined it with the ADHD because they considered it to be the same thing. But the attention disorder thing, they meant it as people being too attentive to what's being around them, like they're surrounded with shit. So they use that pill to like shut them down, basically.
Yeah, it affects them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're trying to slow them down so they don't think for themselves.
They put things in our like vaccines and stuff. I'm not even only
that's
talking about COVID.
That's what
Yeah,
trust that.
because
Like-
like,
Vaccine, bro.
but it's like we've been taking vaccines for like
They've shown that they start like they sterilized black women at one point in time with I think it was like a pill, like either like a birth control pill or something. Right? I forgot what it was, but they baited black women into like going to the doctor and getting a shot or taking a pill or one of those, and they sterilized them. Right? They're actually
That's what the
And that's the type of like stuff that people deserve reparations for, especially during the later areas where like we actually keep records of that stuff, of the atrocities that happen to our community.
But it's
Which is
like-
why reparations is important.
so like in conclusion. We actually think that in terms of reparations, it shouldn't just be like a money thing. It should be.
It goes beyond-
You're not getting
It goes
$1 million
beyond money.
because your grandfather
Like,
was a slave.
bro,
You're not
that's
getting
that's
so
that's ridiculous.
because you
They
can't.
tried to do that in California.
Because you can't put
Yeah,
money.
I've
You
seen
can't put
something
money
about that.
on what they did in slavery.
Yeah.
There's not enough money in the world to give back
Oh no.
for what they
Like-
did for slavery.
Yeah.
Bro. It's not enough.
a whole generation of like waste.
Yeah, that's. Oof, yeah.
They themselves set us back.
That's the
All
biggest-
those genius black people that they could have had like working in a science lab or trying
So what can we do about
industries,
that?
all that.
Huh?
So what can
We
we do
need-
about that?
Acknowledgement, first of all.
Unity. We just need unity.
Yeah,
The moment that we have unity,
Accountability.
Cops gotta stop killing us. That's the main thing.
no. If we had unity, that's the first thing, and that's the first and only thing we really need, right? Once we have unity, then we'll come up with a general idea of what we need to do.
Well, to put it in simple terms, once we learn how to stop killing ourselves and each other, then we can rebuild ourselves.
So that's
Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't always like sit there and blame the police and then you have a whole bunch of black people killing each other.
Into the African household, like people that
Over
are in
shit
Africa.
like that too.
No, people that are in Africa, like we need your help. We your lost brothers and sisters. Right? Well, some of us.
They got their whole other deal going on.
I know, nah, but like I hate that like they're having a division. Like even in the Black Panther movie, like they created division with that
like,
movie.
they say like basically black like
Yeah, that's what
Africans don't like black.
That's
people.
what Black Panther and Killmonger was. That's what T'Challa and Killmonger was.
For me, my take is I'm not looking to Africa for any type of help, regardless. Until
But we need a country to back us up. Haiti's not gonna back you up. Jamaica cannot back me up, right?
it's just gonna be around. I don't think government's gonna back you up in general.
No, look at the Chinese people, like the Asian people that were here, right? The moment that they start like attacking Chinese people here, China was not having it.
What they do?
Huh?
What they do?
Bro,
They didn't do anything.
what do you mean they didn't do nothing? America knew that they couldn't that shit was not gonna slide with them. So they gave them laws real quick. They gave them laws to protect them.
There's no.
They put them. They put in
specifically
laws.
they put in for Asian.
I'll have to
besides,
look at it. I heard on the news. I heard on the news that they were like putting in laws, getting into the mix. I'm like, damn, that was quick.
Comfortable, right?
Man.
yeah, because we gotta leave, you know.
Yeah, so basically to wrap it up, unity,
Reparations.
That's the lesson for today.
Unity, education,
Feel free to like comment any more information, your thoughts.
Yeah. Any ideas for? Oh,
add
shit, we
on
should
to
have said that
anything if you
before.
want.
Any ideas for any future games? Any topics, debates?
Please,
whatever it
no.
may be.
Give us game recommendations because
Yeah,
I'm tired of losing.
we-
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I don't want to see the scoreboard right now.
I mean, you're gonna see.
Scoreboard. But yeah. Share this with your friends. Start the discussion, because it's all about talking it out.
At the end of the day, it's a conversation. That's why we're called the deep end. Cue the music. Perfect. I don't care.